Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Zoho Announces. I'm here with Ramprakash Ramamoorthy, a dear friend and the head of Zoho Labs. And Ram, you're here to discuss Zoho's brand new server. It was designed completely in-house, and it is called Natula. So without further ado, Ram, thank you very much for joining me.
Pleasure is mine, Mickey. Always happy to chat up with you.
Well, I won't take much of your time. I just want to ask several pointed questions about engineering and servers and technology. No, I'm kidding. The first question I have, which is a sort of broad one, which is, can you describe what the origins of Nathu Law are, and more broadly, why did Zoho decide to build its own server?
Sure, Mickey. We started sometime during 2020. We are a company that plays the long game. This Natula project we started in 2020. This was a time when global supply chains were, you know, uh, showing dangers of over reliant to certain aspects. And then we as a company, we always play the long game. If you look at our entire product suite of Zoho Corp, all of it is built in house. And we believe in building the deep technical know-how. The know-how is more valued. And the fact that we are private and bootstrapped help us take such risky long-term bets. I mean, you cannot be building a server and then reporting quarter on quarter. It needs a lot of patient capital. So that's when we started. And in the process, we discovered that the advantages that this could give to us as a company with a maniacal focus on customer value. So it all boils down to customer value by building the know-how and designing our own servers in-house. We are able to transfer customer value. So that is in one word, it's going to be maniacal focus on customer value.
Well, that's a great segue into my next question, which is, uh, I guess the cost savings and the efficiencies on Zoho's side are sort of understood, I think. But when it comes down to it, where is the customer going to see value efficiencies with Zoho's new server, Nathula?
Right. So I mean, doing business with Zoho is always very predictable. And like I said, the fact that we are bootstrapped really helps. I mean, we're not going to be acquired overnight. That's never in the conversation. Or we're not going to have a sticker shock where, oh, your renewals are 50% more expensive, 100% more expensive. We've never done that in the 30 years of our existence. So a customer who's using Zoho suite of products is never going to feel the server, or I mean, it sits multiple layers underneath. And the fact that we care about all of those layers makes it very predictable for them, right? I'll tell you, we started off this in 2020, the server effects in 2020, but in just about the last 6 months, the cost of servers have tripled or even quadrupled in some cases. I'm not even talking about AI servers. AI is driving all this mad rush. I'm not even talking about GPUs or AI specific server costs. I'm talking about your traditional server cost, the cost to run Zoho Mail, the cost to run Zoho WorkDrive. All of it has become 3 times, 4 times more expensive just in a matter of last 6 months. So that is how crazy this is getting. And so we have to be predictable to do business with us. So customers will really be able to appreciate that we keep our costs like in cost predictable, costs very stable. We barely do inflation correction over the years, and this is one of our primary input costs. So if Zoho is healthy, I'm sure customers are going to reap the benefits out of it.
That makes a lot of sense. That's sort of been the tradition of Zoho for, like you said, 30 plus years.
I,
So,
I see this as a company that has gone through multiple economic cycles, right? So we've seen the 2000 crash, we've seen the 2008 crash, and then we've seen things moving to cloud, and then there was a mobile disruption. Now there is an AI disruption. But playing the long game has helped us ride all these waves. The whole grounds change because a lot of times in the SaaS world, we see uh, products, I mean, features masquerading as products, products masquerading as companies, and then there is a massive consolidation, there is an acquisition, prices go up overnight. And that is what we want to avoid. We want to be easier to do business with. We want to be predictable to do business with. We want to be that boring company that's very stable and then things keep chugging at a steady pace. That is what we are built for.
Let's get into the technical side of it. I know that in the announcement, we say that we have applied for 5 patents on the server itself. Can you just walk us through a little bit about how technically it solves problems and what, I guess, what it does that's more efficient or more productive than a
Right.
traditional server?
Right. So, if you look at it, our total cost of ownership goes down by 20 to 30%. And more importantly, primarily from a power consumption angle, we are seeing savings from 12 to 18%. So, that is roughly the number. And this happens because of three things. I mean, there were three teams that were involved in making this software project live. One is the software team. So there is a lot of bloatware that comes when you buy a packed server. So eliminate a lot of these which are unnecessary. And this we are talking about the drivers, we are talking about the BIOS software, we're talking about like the moment the server boots, there is a lot of things that you might not need uh, to run in a Zoho data center. So we naturally eliminated a lot of it. The second thing is there is a mechanical optimization. So the mechanical engineering team has this chassis designed for better heat dissipation, and it is very specific to Zoho's data center, Zoho's product specific optimization. And then the third thing is the electronics optimization. So we base this on Intel's Xeon's family of processor. But what we have added is we made it a workload based configuration. We have the E cores, the efficiency cores for storage and VMs and such use cases. For instance, let's say we run Zoho Mail. The Zoho Mail's mail storage system is batch processing, right? It does not happen live. But then let's say the Zoho Mail's transaction processing system, where you process all the incoming emails or you process all the outgoing emails. Now this is a much heavier processing. Or let's say Zoho Meeting, where now we both are talking on Zoho Meeting. This is heavier processing. So we have these P cores for heavier transaction processing. Now, if you look about it, if you think about it, it is a lot of clever hacks put together, a lot of making these servers very specific to Zoho set of use cases, and then making it purpose built based on the kind of usage. Oh, storage server is very different from a transaction processing server. A transaction processing server is very different from a AV server, like for Zoho Meeting, Zoho Click, and all of that. So these were some of the clever hacks that we put together, and that is why you see that 12 to 18% power savings and 20 to 30% savings in total cost of ownership. And beyond all of this, there is something that I cannot put a number onto. It is the technical know-how of how to build a server, what goes into it. And I mean, you know it, right? Like any R&D projects, we are launching one thing, but then we have 100 failed experiments from which we have a lot of learnings. So this, this is one such thing. This is something that made it is going to see the light of the day. The learnings that we have is going to uh, be going to be given to our customers over the coming years. So this is our first foray into making something in the hardware space. So I'm very excited uh, for the coming years and more announcements to come in the Natula server line of launches.
Speaking more personally to you, you said that you're excited because it's Zoho's foray into hardware. Can you talk a little bit more specifically about, as the head of Zoho Labs, what is so exciting about Zoho developing its own server? Are there experiments that you want to run on it? Like what really gets you excited about it?
So we are now starting this. I mean, as of this announcement, we are trying to use this internally. In fact, we have hooked this into our data centers. It's working. We are able to see the power numbers and optimization numbers based on that. Now this opens up a bunch of possibilities, right? So let's say there is going to be a huge private installation, a big enterprise, a government, and you know Zoho could be that full OEM vendor where we serve our software stack along with the hardware stack. And the fact that it is optimized through all the layers, right? So we have a control on the server in which our code runs. And then today you look at a SaaS company, a huge chunk of every SaaS company's revenue One goes into cloud service providers, two goes into AI service providers. That's the reality now. And for a customer, these costs are exploding for the SaaS company. Your inference is no longer a rounding error. It's a separate line item in itself, and it's exploding. So for a typical software company, after human resources cost, your server cost, your operational cost is like very high. Now that we are able to control it, now that we are building this in house, that opens up a lot of avenues, the way we can deploy this technology, the way we can productize this to a broad range of customers, depending on their data locality, depending on their privacy requirements. It's I can only see opportunities ahead. I'm super excited about it.
How far ahead does Zoho, do you and your team have to look before you can really start seeing the results? And then the follow up to that is when will customers get to start using Natula?
So customers are already using some aspects of this server. Maybe your request is being served from the Natula server as we speak. Maybe that search that you were looking for, a mail that was sent to you 3 months back, is being retrieved from a Natula storage server. So we have them deployed, and it's not a prototype or it's not a proof of concept. It is real, and it is running in our server. So we will uh, we will slowly, I mean, typically a server's life cycle is about 4 to 5 years, depending on where you use it in the stack. The more it gets used, like transaction processing, it's like 3 years. Something like backend storage, it's going to be 5 years. And then slowly, as we replace our servers, uh, we will bring in more and more Natula. Of course, it doesn't mean we will do 100% made in Zoho processors, made in Zoho servers. Not yet, not as of June 2026, right?
Do you
So
think that's the goal? Sorry to cut you off.
yes, I mean, I can say that is a goal, but it's not very practical today to do that. We No, we built this on top of Intel's platform. The collaboration with them has been amazing. So for now, we're making it as modular as possible. And I mean, Zoho is always land and expand. So we are this is just a beginning. I would say this is just a very, very humble beginning. This is the first thing that we're trying to do. And then again, like I said, patient capital. To do a lot, it takes a lot more patience, a lot more. It takes time. Is one of the campaigns that we ran last year. So it's going to take a lot of time. But then for me, for the team, the bigger takeaway is that, hey, we know how to build this, right? So we have the
Yeah.
mechanical capabilities, then we have the electronic capabilities, then we have the software capabilities. I mean, typically we we build CRM systems, we build email systems, and then all of a sudden you have a team that is writing the BIOS software. All of a sudden there is a team that is designing the chassis in such a way that there is better heat dissipation, in such a way that you could slot in the GPUs in such a way that they are more optimal. So that know-how is our start. It's a start. So it's a start, and we will eventually take this forward. We will keep iterating on top of this. We will keep making sure it is relevant.
Thank you very much, Ram. This has been a fun conversation, and I think everybody will be excited for this announcement and to eventually start, you know, using Zoho and Zoho running on Nathula. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, Mickey. Thank you for having me here. I mean, Natula is all exciting to me, and I hope it excites you as well.